the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old have prophesied against many countries and great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. The prophet which prophesied of peace, when the words of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord Yahweh have truly sent him. All right, first and foremost, before I get started, I'm going to give all honor and glory and power to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rahakadash. I want to say double honors to our elders, our great apostles, great millstone, GMS, who rule well and teach well, being a great example to Israel. All right, man, the elect. I want to say peace and blessings to the hopefully elect on the four corner, pursuing the truth and sincerity. All right, the great song that you bring to buy. I just come with this lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. All right, in the spirit of war. All right, which pertain to prophecy as concerning what? The last days. All right, as the prophets continue to go out week in and week out, in season, out of season, all right, to warn you, all right, as we seeing these days approaching, evil and only evil is coming upon the earth. And that man, which is the hammer of the earth, Esau Edom, revealing Revelation 12 and 12, as it was stated that he was going to come down having great wrath, because he knew he had no but a short time. And that short time is him to fulfill, all right, the NWO. All right, he knew it. He had no but a short time. Because war is happening. Chaos in the earth is happening, as in 2 Ezra 15. All right, the sedition among men. All right, that's happening. So he had no but a short time to get this ball rolling. All right, and the prophets of old, which you have the prophets here today. And that's how you know the Lord have truly sent them, when you start to see the things that the prophet was speaking. All right, so I'm gonna play this video, and Lord willing, y'all brothers and sisters be edified, you know, while I lay the law down.
Federal Drug Enforcement Administration says a week-long cartel crackdown led to nearly 200 arrests just in New England. The DEA says they were all members of the Sinaloa cartel, the largest drug cartel in the world.
4 a.m. Chicago, Illinois. The city known as the Crossroads of America was buried in the quiet hours before dawn. The skyscrapers stood silent against the wind coming off Lake Michigan. To the delivery drivers and early shift workers, the streets looked empty, but they weren't. In the shadows of the industrial rail yards and beneath the overpasses of the interstate, a massive mobilization was underway. It wasn't just a local police raid, it was the mobilization of an army. Unmarked vans, tactical armored trucks, and surveillance units from the FBI, ICE, and the DEA were moving in perfect synchronization. And this wasn't happening just in Chicago. At that exact moment, across 21 other major metropolitan zones, from the ports of Long Beach to the suburbs of New York, thousands of federal agents were initiating the largest offensive against organized crime in modern American history. The code name for the operation was simple: the Surge. The target was not a street gang. It was a multinational superpower, the Sinaloa and CJNG cartels. For years, they had operated with impunity, turning American cities into logistics hubs for their poison. But on this morning, the rules of engagement had changed. The order from the highest levels of government was clear: stop the drugs, destroy the networks, and bring those responsible to justice. If you support the brave men and women of ICE and the FBI who risk their lives to defend our nation from these foreign threats, hit the like button and comment ICE below.
And here it is. You know, whenever Esau, you know, decide to roll down, he got to always have in the streets to show you the devil, man. You know, which he been allowing this for how long? And now all of a sudden, why? Because he have no but a short time, so he got to get everything in line in place. You see? And he do by the means of the sword. Now let's check this other video out, because this was happening lately, just yesterday. Check this out.
Shooting again.
Oh, exactly. Cause remember, I did this lesson. Hear her out. Cause remember, this lesson right here, she was speaking on how the ICE agent, all right, in 2026, all right, they have new rules. And we seeing how the devil, which is Esau Edom, coming down with that rap. But let's hear this once again, then we'll go to that video.
Repeated cases of ICE and Border Patrol agents shooting people without clear cause and facing no real accountability. This is how systems tip. This is how isolated incidents become actual patterns. And this is how split-second decisions turn fatal. And it's not just going to affect the illegal immigrants. It will affect bystanders. Because when force is incentivized and oversight is absent, mistakes don't get corrected. They get repeated. And the people who pay the price aren't going to be the policymakers. They aren't the commanders. They aren't the people writing these rules. They're going to be migrants. They're going to be bystanders. Are going to be citizens who happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is not border security. This is heavily armed federal force being built for confrontation. And once that kind of machine is set in motion, it doesn't stay contained.
You see that? You see? So let's check this video out right here. Salakia. I don't know why I'm doing that. Salakia.
Shooting again, jumping to all kinds of conclusions before an investigation even has begun, and even suggesting that this woman is part of a, quote, broader left-wing network. He was pressed on that by a reporter and couldn't explain.
And when you hear that, then you automatically know the propaganda is in place. All right? When you hear the left wing or the right wing, propaganda is in place. All right? Because that's how they play on the minds of the people. It's called psychological warfare.
What he meant by that. He just assumed that she was part of something and therefore, I guess, deserved to be shot in the face as she was driving away. Meanwhile, protests continue for a second day across the country where people voiced outrage over the shooting and called for ICE to leave their cities. Demonstrations taking place in Boston, Chicago, Philadelphia, and Cleveland. Communities also held vigils to honor the life of the victim, Renee Nicole Good. The Trump administration deployed about 500 additional agents to Minnesota, adding to the roughly 2,000 DHS personnel already on the ground. Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota has placed the National Guard on standby, ready to help police to keep those demonstrations peaceful, which they have been to this point. Joining us now live from Minneapolis, MS Now reporter Nnamdi Eganwu. Nnamdi, good morning.
Good morning, Willie. A very active scene this morning outside of the street where the shooting took place a couple days ago. As you can see, there's a big police presence here. One thing we've observed over the last 2 days is protesters had essentially made the street where the shooting took place a sanctuary. They created barricades, makeshift barricades, using pieces of wood, chairs, even lime scooters to cordon off the street, and had vigils there. Demonstrators would frequently come. They were passing out pizza and coffee. People would come drive hours just to pay their respects and see where this shooting took place. Well, that changed this morning. We saw dozens of city police arrive here and throw a lot of those materials into a dump truck that just left moments ago. What we were told is that there was at least one instance of emergency crews trying to access that street, and they were denied by protesters. That's a fact that at least one protester acknowledged to us today when we asked about it. So there was what we were told, a legal obligation by the city to clear this route to make sure that it was accessible. But it comes as, like you mentioned, protests have continued overnight here. Protests, and these protesters, I have to tell you, are upset. Among the things they're upset about is the rush to judgment you all just referenced from the vice president.
Yeah, so like it.
There's a lot of people upset that the state, that there's an attempt to sideline the state in this investigation. And there's a lot of people upset about what we saw after that shooting on Wednesday, when we saw ICE agents go to a local high school here. Even though the Department of Homeland Security have clarified that those agents didn't enter the school, but they made an arrest outside of the school. And the timing of that arrest coincided with when dismissal happened. So students were caught in the fray, teachers were caught in the fray. We know at least one educator was arrested. And that's resulted in classes being canceled at least until Monday. The effect that that's had is we've seen a lot of people, a lot of young people specifically at these demonstrations lately, including one high schooler I spoke to yesterday that went to Roosevelt High School. I want to play for you what she told me about how what she saw that day inspired her to join protest.
It's just disgusting, and it's just so, like, dehumanizing to those people, and, like, they're our friends, and, like, I go to school with, like, there's a huge Somali population at Roosevelt High School, which is where I go, and it's just terrifying to see. Like, I know that those students were terrified when ICE showed up to our school yesterday, and I just think it's disgusting.
Yeah, see, and that's what he need. You know, the devil need this. Order out of chaos. Problem, reaction, solution. So this all play in the hands of the devil. But guess what? Who behind or who controlling this devil? The Most High Yahweh. Because prophecy must be fulfilled. So that's why I say Jeremiah 28:8, the prophets, all right, of old have prophesied against what? Many countries in the great kingdom of what we starting to see happening in the earth, as in war, civil war, race wars, class war, you know, pestilence, the diseases. Because don't think they ain't forgot about, all right, this second virus coming, you know. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. All right, as these devils always say, you know. So let me grab this before I end it. This is Revelation, all right, 12:12. All right, and it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. So we supposed to be rejoicing. All right, understanding that the Most High Yahweh words are faithful and true. You know, we supposed to be rejoicing this devil, all right, bringing this device to pass. We supposed to be rejoicing. And it says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. All right? For the devil is come down to you having great wrath, because he knoweth he had no but a short time. And the devil speak about Esau Edom, which go to the deceiver and the false accuser. All right? Which that was his MO. All right, when he came out, all right, that prison sentence, all right, to deceive the earth. You see? So, Lord willing, y'all brothers and sisters edified. Next time, Shalom, Baba, Baraka. May the Lord continue to bless your morning.